Hello learners, welcome to the course on AI in Human Resource Management. We move to the last lecture of Module 4 where we look into Smart HRM. Now it's an interesting topic because how did HRM become smart? This is what we are trying to unravel. We are trying to see the AI presence in making HRM smart HRM. I'm Dr. Abraham Cyril Isaac. I'm an assistant professor at the School of Business, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. Now, when you talk about smart HRM, please understand that it uses Industry 4.0 technologies to manage HR and next generation workforce, which is why it is known as smart HRM. Now, let's understand smart HRM first and we'll see the AI involvement in smart HRM because we see that there is increased efficiency that has come in because of the AI practices being adopted, AI tools being adopted in basically HRM, and these Industry 4.0 practices is making it more smart. Let's look into the smart element of HRM. When we are talking about smart HRM, what we understand from smart HRM practices is that it leverages advanced technology to manage human resources more effectively and efficiently. So let's say when you are looking into these Industry 4.0 technologies, be it AI, be it machine learning, be it IoT, be it chatbots, big data analytics, they are used by HR managers to manage the next generation workforce, which is why, as I mentioned, it is called as Smart HRM 4.0. So this technology certainly improves performance across various HR functions, from workforce planning to employee offboarding. Now, it aids in building high-performing teams and managing workplace talent while also enhancing productivity and effectively handling a very diverse workforce. So, what is Smart HRM 4.0 does is that it promotes organization-wide employee training and it integrates certainly HR functions to improve overall effectiveness. It also facilitates talent acquisition, some functions like training and development, retention. For example, let's look into this. Smart HRM uses AI in recruitment, which reduces errors, enhances efficiency across processes like, let's say, branding, candidate attraction, assessment, maybe selection, onboarding. These are some of the vital aspects which makes it smart HRM. Now, when you talk about smart HRM, let's understand from the emergence of smart HRM, the fourth industrial revolution, what we call as the Industry 4.0. So, let's look into this example. Let's say smart HRM typically uses AI in recruitment, which reduces errors and enhances efficiency across processes like, let's say, something like branding. It could have implications with respect to some of the typical HR functions like candidate attraction or maybe assessment or even selection and onboarding. So these are some of the typical aspects which actually enhances the efficiency. Now let's understand smart HRM from its emergence. When you look into smart HRM, the fourth industrial revolution, which is also the Industry 4.0, is what that marked the technological disruption and transformation of business. So Industry 4.0 typically focuses on enhancing the business capabilities to stay competitive, reduce costs and improve operational efficiency. What we understand is that it brings advanced technologies like, let's say, cyber physical systems, AI, what I already mentioned, IoT or robotics for that matter, even cloud computing, big data analytics altogether. So human resource management is also evolving with Industry 4.0 as various HR functions are being automated and modernized. This is the underlying theme which I would like to present today. When you talk about Smart HRM 4.0 emerged from this particular revolution, using Industry 4.0 technologies to actually manage a multi-generational workforce effectively. So what we see as Smart HRM 4.0 adopts these technologies to enhance HR decision making, boost efficiency, increase productivity in a certain tech driven environment. So what is that makes it smart? Common technologies used in smart HRM is what we have already discussed. Let's go in detail. When you look into AI, artificial intelligence, we have typical involvement in things like recruitment, performance management, and predictive analytics, as we have already seen. Big data analytics certainly helps in people analytics, workforce planning. We have the relevance of, first time in this course I'm mentioning about cloud computing, which looks into the remote access and scalability possibility. We are looking into the mobile technology, which enhances the self-service portals and the communication tools. It does not end there. We can have different other tools like LMS, learning management systems, which looks into online training modules and tracking progress for that matter. We have the blockchain technology, which is all about the credential verification, which can help in credential verification and payroll processing. We have the virtual reality, VR or AR, augmented reality, which helps us in typically improving the training and onboarding. And finally, something which we have seen across the previous module, the chatbots, which will facilitate immediate response to employee inquiries. Now let's understand the common technology based on the dynamic capabilities and smart HR. When we discuss about the dynamic capabilities extend the RBV, the most common resource-based view, referring to a firm's ability to integrate, to build, and reconfigure competencies to address rapidly changing environments. So these capabilities help organizations stay competitive by focusing on adaptability, focusing on leveraging resources, minimizing risks, fostering learning, and gaining a competitive edge. So we have a host of capabilities that are coming in, and it inevitably helps the organizations to stay competitive in this world. Now, when you look into smart HRM context, certainly there are certain dynamic capabilities that allow the firm to adjust their HR practices to take advantage of new technologies effectively. Smart HRM fosters dynamic capabilities through three key elements: building, integrating, and reconfiguring. So let's look into these three elements specifically. When you look into building, build, learning, and knowledge sharing, a very interesting area, a very important area, and very close to my heart because it is one of my research areas also. Smart HRM actually encourages continuous learning and knowledge exchange. Please note, leveraging AI, leveraging social media, and even recruitment tools like, let's say, chatbots for talent acquisition and real-time personalized training for that matter. So building is all about building, learning, and knowledge sharing. You have the technology integration. Please understand, when you are talking about integration, it's all about the technology integration here. By incorporating AI, big data, and cloud computing, smart HRM streamlines processes, allowing actually HR departments, HR functional areas to make data-driven decisions that automate various HR functions. You have the HR practice reconfiguration. Smart HRM, typically enables organizations to quickly adjust with HR strategies and process in response to internal or external changes. So please note, it enhances efficiency and adaptability through this technology or technological innovation. Now let's look into social technical theory and smart HRM. We have looked into the resource-based view. Now we look into the socio-technical theory. When you look into this theory, it asserts that organizations typically perform best when both social elements, social elements could be anything like people, the culture, or the relationships between individuals, and the technical elements, let's say tools, technologies, processes, these are aligned and optimized. I repeat, something like people, culture, relationship which are the social elements, and the technical elements like tools, processes, technologies, these are aligned and optimized. So please note the link between socio-technical theory and smart HRM emphasizes integrating these social factors with technological advances in human resource management. So by using socio-technical principles, organizations can no doubt improve smart HRM practices, boosting dynamic capabilities, employee engagement, and without doubt, overall performance and experience. Now, successful smart HRM, when we are discussing about HRM or smart HRM for that matter, we should understand how this is going to be successful. Successful smart HRM actually involves, designing, if you ask me, technology tools with the human factor in mind, ensuring employee involvement is there in selecting and implementing HR technologies to meet their needs and even to improve their work performance. There could be a possibility of strong management support also, like a key socio-technical factor. It can emerge. It is vital for smart HRM success, requiring leaders to promote a typical culture of change and innovation that aligns technology with organizational values. So when you talk about socio-technical theory, it no doubt stresses the importance of employee input during organizational changes, engaging employees in feedback loops during smart HRM implementations, which in line improves system acceptance and usage. So please note, this typical balanced approach ensures people and technology, they collaborate effectively to meet the different strategic goals. Now let's look into the socio-technical factors influencing the use of smart HRM. We have different aspects like top management support. Let's start from that. When we talk about this top management support, please note, organizational support or top management support is critical for any functional aspect being successful. So it involves providing necessary focus, resources, even time. That's also a critical resource nowadays to implement this SHRM 4.0. So when management, essentially the top management, recognizes that adopting advanced technology is a key business priority, they are more likely to allocate resources for its application. So their attention and involvement will drive the effective use of SHRM 4.0. You also have HR readiness. When you talk about HR readiness, it refers to the department's ability to use SHRM 4.0, including the skills of HR professionals and typically the availability of technical and financial resources. When implementing SHRM 4.0, HR teams, managers, the employees must possess the necessary competencies to utilize the technology effectively. So the expertise and technical resources in HR directly influence how well this smart HRM 4.0 can be leveraged. We also have a competitive pressure. What is this competitive pressure? It arises when organizations typically adopt SHRM 4.0 practices due to the competitors doing the same. So initially they are not very keen, but they cannot stay well in terms of the competition. So they have to do the same, they have to imitate, they have to replicate. So research confirms that competitive pressure impacts the acceptance of HR technology. So SHRM 4.0 helps the HR managers analyze data, predict trends like employee attrition, develop some of the retention strategies that can be made, or making it essential even for companies to keep up with the market demands. You also have certain aspects like perceived usefulness. When you talk about perceived usefulness, it is how much individuals believe the information technology or IT typically improves their performance. So SHRM 4.0 helps HR managers manage functions more effectively, improve recruitment processes and predict employee performance and turnover. So when HR managers see the value of SHRM 4.0, they are more likely to adopt it. You also have certain security and privacy aspects, despite the benefits of SHRM 4.0 in talent management, in recruitment, even in employee engagement, organizations may actually hesitate due to concerns over data confidentiality, concerns over potential data loss, or even issues like privacy or errors for that matter. So these concerns arise from the use of Industry 4.0 technologies in HR processes. Security and privacy issues related to HR data remain significant barriers to adoption. You also have this technology readiness. I don't know if you are aware of this thing. So my intention is to underscore this technological readiness part. When you are talking about technology readiness, it refers to an organization's HR related IT infrastructure and expertise. High technology readiness means understanding existing IT issues and preparedness to implement new technologies smoothly. So when you talk about smart HRM, you have to also look into the implications. You have some critical implications like improved organizational performance. By utilizing advanced technologies and data analytics, organizations can make more informed decisions regarding all the function aspects like talent management, workforce planning, employee engagement strategies, etc. You have typical employee engagement and satisfaction that come in from smart HRM tools, which include features like, as we have discussed, how we can enhance employee engagement, something like self-service portals, feedback mechanisms, personalized development plans for that matter. We have some data-driven decision-making aspects whereby smart HRM can facilitate data-driven decision making by providing HR professional with the access to real-time analytics and insights about the workforce performance. You have a possibility of innovation facilitation as an implication. When you look into the integration of smart HRM practices, which supports innovation within organization by promoting a culture that values continuous improvement and agility. You have enhanced dynamic capabilities. Smart HRM, which we are discussing, practices contribute significantly to the development of dynamic capabilities within the organizations. It fosters a culture of learning and knowledge sharing. You have the possibility of strategic alignment. When you talk about strategic alignment, which we have detailed, so I'm not going to take time here, smart HRM aligns human resource practices with broader business strategies. So this particular alignment ensures that HR initiatives support organizational objectives. It could be objectives like market expansion, objectives as simple as product development, enhancing overall business performance. That said, please note we have some typical challenges. We have challenges with respect to integration of HR systems. You have issues like improper integration that can lead to data silos, inefficiencies and errors for that matter. You have problems concerning data security and privacy. With the increasing reliance on digital tools for actually management and specifically managing sensitive employee information. You have data security and privacy being a big concern. So organizations must implement robust security, cyber security measures and comply with the data protection regulations. Failure to do so, let me remind you, can result in data breaches, legal penalties and even loss of employee trust. We also have some resistance to change. Please note, things are always having inertia. So there is always a resistance to change. Implementing this as a smart HRM often requires a cultural shift within the organization. So employees may resist adopting new technologies due to fear of the unknown or sometimes pure discomfort. Now, when you look into smart HRM challenges, you also have critical ensuring employee engagement as one of the challenges. We understood it as a function also. But please note, while smart HRM tools aim to enhance employee engagement, selecting the right platforms and ensuring active participation can also be challenging. So organizations must typically find ways to encourage employees to engage with these tools meaningfully to maximize their benefits. Another significant challenge could be to balance automation with human interaction. Time and again we try to underscore in this course that human interaction is minimized, but how do you balance it? You cannot totally eliminate it. The use of AI and automation in HR processes, please note, can streamline operations but may also lead to concerns regarding what we have seen as bias or transparency issues or maintaining a human touch in the candidate interaction. So striking the right balance is a challenging task, and that is what I would like to underscore here. There are also concerns regarding compliance. Legal compliance remains a significant challenge as labor laws evolve rapidly, which I have already mentioned. When you talk about the challenges, please note there are some critical training and development needs also. When you look into implementing new technologies, often necessitates upskilling HR personnel and employees alike. So organizations must actually invest in training programs and actually necessitate the skills training to utilize the SHRM tools specifically. Now, when we are at it, we should also understand and acknowledge the fact that over and above these challenges, there is one critical challenge, which is a resource constraint. We have looked into the resource-based view in the previous lecture, but please note that we are very much concerned when it comes to resource. So, am I working in an organization which has the potential to deploy AI in terms of the available resources? So many a time, that's why most of my classes goes with a rider that there are different tools that I'm introducing you to. But what is the essential or what is the actual need of your organization? That will ensure that which is the right tool. So again, please take care of your organization in terms of the resource. Maybe functional areas can come together, do some resource pooling, and then let's say we have seen this in the previous module, digital marketing, you have some resource pooling is being done from the marketing department and also the IT department. So this will enhance the AI processing or AI integration of HRM. Unless and until the proper resource allocation is not done, AI HRM will not be that effective. On that note, I'll end today's class. We'll come up with something new and some new module in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.